Hello, our beautiful souls. You got Joanna and Elizabeth here with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. If you found this channel, welcome, my loves. You got both divine feminines in permanent relating experiences with our twin flames. We're permanently balancing this connection daily, and we help other beautiful souls do the same. The cool thing about this connection is it's all energy. And even though the mind is truly like having a hard time balancing this and it's really painful, we both have been there and we both are in it with all of you. Like when we say we're all in this and together, we're all in this together, my loves. And so many beautiful souls thank us like, oh my gosh, thank you. Because of you, I'm now balancing my connection. Oh my gosh, thank you. Because of you, I'm now in a permanent relating experience with my twin flame. Because of you, my twin flame is coming in. Because of you, my twin flame can't stay away from me. Because of you, I get this connection. Because of you, I'm no longer in pain. Because of you, I'm in this place of peace. This is the reason why we do what we do every single freaking day, my loves. We do this every day because we want so many beautiful souls that have gone through the pain, anguish, and cray things in this journey that we all went through, me and Elizabeth went through. We want them to be able to shift through it and fly in their journey. This connection leads you to your most amazing, best life. So if you found this channel, your soul knew you were ready for these truths. Your soul knew that you were ready to start balancing your connection so that you can be in this union energy, so that you can be in a permanent relating experience with your twin flame if you so choose. So welcome, all you beautiful souls. Okay, so we have this really deep question. I'm going to go ahead and summarize it. So basically the situation with this beautiful soul fam is they have gotten into a situation where they're sending pictures and videos for their person, and they've had this routine for a while. The issue now, though, is she no longer wants to send pictures and videos, and she's also asking why he's not sending pictures and videos, and now it's then causing him to pull. And she's also wondering why he's asking for them and not sending them as well. And this has caused him to pull when she started asking for it. So she's asking for ways to shift through this situation. So when I first read this, my love, to this beautiful soul, I would say you were getting into this monotonous, people-pleasing era with your person that we do a lot when we're in trying to balance our person and trying to balance out of separation consciousness. But the first phase of balancing is balancing phase one, where you're making it about your person. And in order for you to be in permanent relating experience, you have to be able to balance with making it about you. And so when you're sending these pictures and videos for your person, it is now for your person and it is not for you. Our job is not to people please to our people. Our job is not to do anything for our people. It's not to do anything for our people. It is simply to be. It is not you asking for your person to send pictures that and telling them no, that would make them pull. It is actually the expectations and preferences of, I'm sending these pictures, I'm sending these videos, and in return, I'm expecting you to do the same. I think the mind, there was this energy of like, why can't he just send me anything, like a picture, anything, to validate what I've been sending him? And so make sure when you stop sending pictures, it isn't out of the lower scale of consciousness. It is to choose you and not to people please, to raise your energy and choose you. I don't need to send anything to my person so that I can please them. There's a different energy between sending pictures to your person because it brings you joy and you feel into the oneness versus sending pictures because it's obligatory. And you are able to then shift out of this funk, I would say, where you became really robotic and was doing all these doing for your person, to feel like you're connected to him by sending these pictures. He doesn't have to send you a single picture, my love. You don't have to send him a single picture. This connection is not ran through the physical aspect of your connection. This connection is ran through your energy. And if sending these pictures put you in a cycle of resentment and you're expecting, then obviously the energy will push him to pull. So you have to recognize, is sending these pictures bringing me joy? Because if I can send them with joy and not have any expectations and preferences and judgment, then I can continue to do so. But if it puts me in mind and I'm constantly checking and I'm constantly trying to like do all this for my person, then I'm no longer choosing me, and therefore it is causing push. Your person doesn't have to do anything for you, including send you pictures. I think the mind gets like romanticized with it and it wants the same in return. But the difference between you and your person is your person gets your energy when you're in mind. When you're in mind, the energy pushes to them. When they're in mind, nothing happens to you. So asking them to do something for you to validate you is mind. They're not going to be able to meet you there. You have to validate yourself. You have to feel whole and complete on your own. You don't need anything from your person. You don't need a picture. You don't need a video. You don't need anything to know you're one. And you don't need anything to know you're whole and complete. You have to pull your energy in and bring yourself back into the space to know that you please you and you love you and you choose you. And you have to go back to that surrendered state that brought them in initially and stay in that state to keep choosing you. Just make sure that when you are in mind, don't communicate, don't engage, bring it back to you, and don't go there again, right? To that cycle you were doing if you're going to be in mind, because you're going to be in the same cycle that is then essentially pushing these expectations from your person to be able to send you things as though there's no energy between the both of you. But there is, and that's the difference between the both of you, is when we send these expectations and preferences from our person, they can't meet us. They can never meet us there. They can meet us there in the oneness, but as far as us logically expecting them to do things for us, they pull. And it's not them doing it on purpose, it's just the energy. So I want you to really reshift back to the place when you were in separation, and it was separation phase 2, where you made it about you, that brought your person back in, where you're able to balance. In order for you to keep balancing, you have to make it about you. In the same energetic space that you're able to make it about you during separation phase 2, making it about you. If you focus on your person and lose yourself for your person and expect them to do things for you, you're then back into that separation consciousness where you're not making it about you and no longer balancing your person through your energy and focusing on you. So you have to get into that energetic space. It's the same space to be able to continue to balance in a permanent relating experience, is to make it about you. Remember, they're you. They are you. So you don't need a picture of your soul because soul doesn't validate itself. It doesn't need validation. And remember, you're the awakened one. So you being awakened has to be enough, where you don't need a picture, you don't need a text, you don't need anything. And I love you, a devotion of love, a way to show you that you're one. There's none of those things, because all of those things are conditional. And this is not a conditional connection. This is unconditional, where you are love and you're one, whether they send you a picture, whether you see them in person, whether you talk to them ever again, you're still one and are already love. What do you think, love?
Yeah, the first thing I was thinking of when I heard this question is, you're in balancing phase 1, love. This is hard. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. But that's the reality of what this question is. It's a balancing phase 1 question. You have done something where you have shifted and you're able to balance your person and bring them in. And now you are turning the intent on what they're thinking, doing, and feeling, right? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they sending me something? There's a lot of focus on your person, and you have to bring it back to you. And I feel this energy that underline what you were saying, Joanne. There's this underlying resentment of I'm doing this for them and I'm not getting anything in return. So I really want you to close your eyes, and I want you to put yourself in the place of soul, right? Because that's ultimately the energy we want to emulate when we are balancing our person. So close your eyes, get into that soul, love, peace energy. Soul doesn't need anything. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't have to do anything, and it doesn't have to receive anything. It just is. It's just love. It's just peace. There's nothing you need from your person, and there's nothing you need to do for your person, right? If you were to ask soul this question, hey, soul, I'm doing this. Why aren't they doing something back? Soul would say, I don't need anything. I don't need anything. I'm good. I'm the one who's watching. I'm the one who's watching what the physical's doing. I'm the one that's watching what the mind's doing. But I don't need anything. When you ask yourself these questions, I really want you to try to answer from a state of soul. I really do. This is that bringing your intention back to you. It's understanding the energy. The energy of soul is love. Those lower scale energies that this question brought up is mind. So I really want you to feel into what the mind was feeling, and then go deep with it so you can release it. What was the mind seeking? Why did it feel it needed something from your person in return? What did him giving something in return do or not do for the mind? And when you can ask yourself that, and you could sit with those answers, you can release what's coming up. Because this is part of balancing phase 1. You're getting these triggers, these situations, to be able to figure out what left of mind has not fully been shed from your dark night. So these are the situations that you get to go deep with yourself, and you get to release. You know, I remember in balancing phase 1, Joanne would tell me, like, these are good. These are good. I get to get deeper within myself. I get to release what's still there. And I want you to look at that too, because releasing all these things leads you to balancing phase 2. I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you. This is hard work.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard. It's crazy because it almost makes us go back to that state where we're like, why can't you love me the way that I can love you? Why can't you connect with me the way that I want to connect with you? And we're almost asking our divine masculines to be the awakened one. We're asking them to be the divine feminine, which they're not. We're asking them to reciprocate the love that we are able to express to them wholeheartedly, when we are giving it away or actually pushing them away. So it actually does more harm than it does good, because we're now treating it like it's two positive polarities, and it's not. Your person is the divine masculine. They are the negative polarity that reflects your energy. And when I am not, and when Elizabeth took that moment to have you close your eyes and feel into soul, when I am not in soul, my divine masculine, who is my soul, cannot reflect what I am in the physical.
Joanne, you actually had I had a download right now, and it was I think I have shared before, and if I've not, where I can turn on songs that used to bring me into the addictive energy, and I could listen to them, and I could feel the energy, but I'm not in the place of the one engaging with the energy, if you will. I'm actually watching the energy. And this is what we tell you guys all the time. This is the difference between being conscious and being asleep, right? And this is where you're going to get to. Right now, when the mind has those energy spike, you're reverting back to the subconscious that's experiencing that energy, and feeling it as if you're the one that is it. But when you're balanced and you're balancing phase 2, it's a different type of experience. You're actually observing the energy. You can feel it the same way. It's weird, but you're actually watching it now instead of identifying as it. It's really a really different experience.
When you can watch it now too, you could be like, oh shoot, let me pull it back, let me bring it back to me, and let me get back into this alignment. We just had a beautiful call with a session with a client today, and it was amazing to hear her shift. And her shifts were so instant in her journey, where she literally followed everything to a T in her journey to like from the detox, from the surrender to shifting in 4 months, really. Like in 4 months, her person is coming in more than they've ever came before.
And Joanne, what was consistent about her call was not about her person. It was about other things.
No,
there was not.
No,
and that's a beautiful indication of balancing phase 2. Balancing phase 1, it almost is like that separation phase 1, where the questions start becoming about your person again. Whereas balancing phase 2, it's everything else. Just like separation phase 2 is like, okay, how do I live my best life? How do I live my best life?
Yes.
That's the same as balancing
phase 2. How do
I
make it about me? How do I stop figuring them out? How do I stop trying to make this journey about them when it's really about me? How do I start going back into soul again? It's like we forgot what got us our soul. We forgot everything that brought us our soul, and now we're making them separate from us again. And so that's that shift where I really went internally within myself to align with soul. My soul's here. And then now I'm trying to get back into that separation consciousness that had them leave in separation phase 1. And it's like, oh shoot, and that's why I said a part of you becomes like, you have this like mirroring stick that just reflects itself from your energy, from your person, right? And so it comes back to you and you're like, oh crap, damn it. Let me get back into soul again. Let me get back into
But what's funny is everyone sort of, they pull up the soulmate template. You start balancing phase 1 and most people revert to, let me pull up the soulmate template and see how I'm supposed to interact with my person using the soulmate template. Yes. And that's not, that template's never going to work. No, it's never going to work for your person.
It won't. We had another client who's such a beautiful soul, who's such a spiritual freaking badass. And I really wanted to sit with her a little bit longer in the call, which I did. But I wanted to really tell her, like, my love, you're now making it about your person again. How are you allowing yourself to get this far in your journey, to have found yourself at the highest depths of your soul? Your person's come back in and now you forgot and you're now making it about them again. And it's like, how do I keep making this journey about me wholly and completely, whether my person is here or not? And I don't need anything from them, because both of these clients is the same thing that you're doing, love. They all need something they both need something from their person.
Hold on. I have the perfect example. I do. Yeah. And it came up this morning, and maybe it came up this morning specifically for this conversation that we're having. So I got a phone call at 5 a.m. from the school district near me. There's been a lot of snow, and it basically said that school was delayed by 2 hours for each of my kids' school. Well, I had a doctor's appointment to take my other daughter to at the same time as my youngest school was going to start. So I asked my person, like, hey, do you mind taking my youngest to school today? And he's like, oh man, I have a deadline. I just can't, like, I have to. And the mind immediately like, well, I was going to do favors for you with driving this week, but you can't do once. And I immediately called that energy out. I called the mind out, and I was like, hey, it's okay. I'll take her with me to the doctor's appointment. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And he later came and was like, I can take her to school if you want. And I was like, no, I'm not going to make your day any harder. But do you see where the mind wants to immediately make it about what you need to do for me? And that's soulmate template. Like, you do for me, I do for you. You do for me, I do for you. And if you don't do for me, I'm going to get angry, or I'm going to get upset, or, right? That's conditional. It's conditional. And balancing truly is being able to step away from those conditions, being able to step away from the mind that gets activated, and be able to say, look, I need nothing from you. And if you just told me, no, you have something going on, I'm going to respect that. I'm going to accept it. And I'm going to be at peace with it without judgment, without expectations and preferences. Because you can't expect from your person, regardless. Yes, it's only 5 minutes away. It would have taken him 5 minutes, but he had something else to do, right? And it's like the mind wants to get upset about it. And why did the mind want to get upset about it? Because it was like, well, I do stuff for you. If you cared about me, right? That's the underlying trigger. If you cared about me the way I care about you, you would show me you care, blah, 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 blah. The same thing with this question initially. If you cared about me, you would be responding to my pictures every single time with ones that, you know what I mean? Yeah. The mind is seeking that exchange, that fair and equal exchange that it does not need. Soul does not need that. Soul is at peace and an acceptance of what is, whatever that is, whatever it is. Let's say that again. Whatever it is, soul is at peace and in acceptance of it, because there are no conditions attached to our person. None. And
it's being surrendered to the moment that's unfolding in front of you, right? So these clients are beautiful souls that are like frustrated with their person. Let's say they just saw them yesterday and they didn't contact them the next day, and they haven't talked to their person. And let's say it's been a month, and it's like, well, if you loved me enough, if you cared about me enough, you'd reach out to me. And that's like what a lot of people do, is they have this if only you did this for me.
And I would do it for you. Why won't you do it for me? We've heard that from a lot of clients that are still in separation phase one, is like, I am upset that they would never do for me what I would do for them. And that's right there is like, well, you don't need to do anything for them. And you wanting something in return is a huge expectation. It's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. You don't need to do anything for them, and they don't need to do anything for you. That's a balanced connection. That's soul, because you already won. You don't have to do anything for yourself. It just is.
Yeah. And it's extra. So the same thing where Elizabeth had the opportunity to have her person give the rights to her kids. It was like, hey, you still want me? You know, I'm actually good. But the mind was really frustrated that the answer initially was no, because it said, well, if you love me more, if you cared about me.
The mind immediately goes back into it immediately goes to sleep. It immediately goes to those limiting beliefs and those triggers of why am I not important enough? And it was the conscious me, and it was pretty quick. I'm telling you, probably within 10 seconds. And that's what balancing looks like in a permanent relating experience. It is literally checking the mind every time the mind wants to act out and stomp, because the mind is like a little spoiled toddler. It wants to smash about and kick and stomp when it doesn't get the expectation, the outcome it is wanting. And you, as the conscious one, get to check it and bring it back to neutrality.
You have to keep being the one that pushes your connection and your journey consciously, because you're the awakened one. So you have to be the one that consciously stays awakened. You have to be the one that does the work, right? We had another beautiful client call where it was like she was trying to show someone who is in the journey, like, hey, you have to stay awakened in balancing this connection. And it's like, if I don't stay awakened, it'll still work itself, right? And it's not. We're going to be real with you guys. If you stop being awakened, you go back to sleep. You really go back to sleep. There's a reason why Elizabeth still does not have her person. It's been how many years?
It's been 2.5, almost 3 years.
Yeah. It's been 3 years now. And her person's still not added on her social media for Twitter. Just Twitter. It's a big leak for her, right? That is a conscious effort. It's a conscious effort to stay awakened in your connection, because your person is not awakened. So the more you stay conscious, the more you raise your energy, the more you catch yourself from needing anything from your person, from wanting anything from your person, from expecting your person to do things for you, to validate you, to feel whole, to feel complete, to feel like you're worthy because they are showing themselves to you, is you going back to sleep, is you not being the awakened one. It's you not being the conscious one. It's you getting lost in the stories, putting that soulmate template of, I need you to do this for me to show me that we are one. I need you to send me these pictures to prove to me that you love me and care about me the same way I care and love you, because I can send you these pictures. And that's exactly the opposite of what our connection is. Our connection is unconditional love. Our connection is love of soul, which just is, which needs nothing, and it has no announcement. It literally just is. I don't need you to prove the love that you are for me, because the love that you are of me is just simply to be. I don't need you to give rights for me. I don't need you to give me balloons. I don't need you to do anything for me to know that you care about me. And the mind gets triggered so fast. Like, why can't they do this for me? And then now you're back to pushing again. And now they're not reaching out again, because you're now balancing your connection and separation consciousness. You have to stay conscious. You have to keep pushing the bus. You got to keep moving along, trucking along, in staying conscious in your connection, my loves. This is a conscious effort to be in your connection, to stay in soul, to stay aligned, and not even just with your person, just to be sane, like to feel better, is to stay conscious, not getting lost in the energy, not checking their social media 10 times a day because you think you're going to eventually get over it, eventually transition yourself from not leaking. You have to stay conscious. You have to stay awakened. You have to be the awakened one that God, soul, the universe chose to be awakened. You were chosen to be awakened. Stay awakened in your connection. Stay conscious of your energy and be the one that leads your connection by raising your energy, aligning with soul, and bringing it back to you. We love you guys so much. We hope you have an amazing day. Love you. Bye, love.
Bye, love.